Hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. It is another beautiful fall day here in the foothills of the mountains of western North Carolina. And that's the mountain right in front of our house. And fall is starting to change the colors on the leaves. We're getting some reds, some yellows, some oranges. Not at peak color yet, but over the course of, I'm going to guess, about the next 7 days, that mountain is going to absolutely explode into its full fall foliage and will absolutely be beautiful. And with fall comes some things that we're thinking about, getting ready for winter, even getting ready for next year. So hang out with us for a little bit. We'll show you what we got going on. We got some work to do. All right, I don't know if y'all remember or not, but a couple of videos ago, we showed putting together our new land guard raised bed garden. I really like these things. These folks, they do a real nice job. Lots of different colors, sizes, shapes, and options that you can choose from on these. And they had sent us a couple, and so we were kind of using them, and I really like them. This one up here, I don't know if it's showing up in the shot or not, put it in earlier in the year, planted some flowers in it. They're still going strong. They've done great. But on one of our last videos that we showed on this, we planted carrots. And the carrots started coming up and were making a little bit of a stand. Let's see, here's one that's left. And we're starting to make a little bit of a stand, and then the cows got in it. We had the cows right here, right behind where the camera is. They ended up coming through the fence and getting over here and scratching around in this. Right there's a bunch. Scratching around in this and basically decimated our carrot crop. So I've kind of give up on that. So what we're going to do today is plant some garlic. Now we do eat a lot of garlic. And the thing about garlic here in this part of the country is you want to plant it in the fall of the year for a crop next year. So we're going to be using this land guard bed to plant our garlic. So Sandra ordered some the other day. I don't know where she ordered them from Baker Creek Seed. And so we're going to plant these. They have sent us, I think we got 8 bulbs. I think they're all alike. Transylvania garlic, pretty fitting, and Inchalium garlic. So we will do the Transylvania on the low side, and we'll do the Inchalium on the upper side. Now, when you get your garlic, and this garlic is super easy to plant. I mean, it is really easy to plant. You're going to get a bulb like this. Let me bring you in close and show you what we're doing. All right, so on your garlic, you're going to get a bulb like this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to break this bulb up. And inside of the bulb are cloves, different cloves of garlic. And you know, you see this whenever you go to the grocery store and get garlic. You got to peel this outer layer off, outer skin off to get down to those cloves. This is what your cloves are going to look like, that right there. Let's put this on the ground over here so we don't make such a mess in our bed. So you're going to take your cloves, separate them out from the head of garlic that you've got. There's just a couple to work with. Now when you're planting garlic, the rule of thumb is, well, it's kind of a rule of thumb, rule of hand. You want to plant it a hand's width apart and a thumb length deep. So we'll start right here. We're going to go there and then just stick your thumb down in and drop your garlic into the base of that thumb hole that you've made. And you know, it don't have to be perfect, but you kind of get the idea of how to do this. So basically you're going to go 4 or 5 inches apart and then about 2 or 3 inches deep. And I've not been doing this. The bottom of the garlic has a little flat spot and the top has more of a peak or more of a tip. You really want to plant it with the tip up. So you want that base of that garlic at the bottom of your hole there. Let's see, I'm going to go about halfway so that we're keeping our different species apart. You know, these raised garden beds are really the way to go. It's a good way to, you know, you can manage your stuff, and it's not hard. You don't have to get down and crawl around on your hands and knees like you do in the garden. Works out really nice. All right, so there is a clove of garlic, or a head of garlic planted. Let's see, we had about 3, 6, 9, about 15 cloves there. So we'll break up into another one of the Transylvania, then we'll do the other half of the bed in the Inchalium, and that should get us. So this garden bed is just filled with composting wood chips that we got from a tree service. So the chips on top are a little more rough, but whenever you get down into the bed, it's a lot more fluffy, kind of more of a finer compost that you would expect. And this is just a great way to grow stuff. These raised garden beds, they're easy to manage, they're easy to work. They do a lot to retain moisture, but not dry out, not get too wet. And I'll post a link in the description down below for the Landguard garden beds. Like I say, a lot of different colors and shapes and accessories. We got some of these really nice garden lights with these. Just adds a nice look out here at night. Probably would have attracted the cows. That and the carrots. Another thing, once you plant your garlic, next year whenever you get the heads back out, you can put some of those to the side, dry them, break your cloves off, and replant. Last video, we were up in the woods up behind the chicken processing building where we had a couple of trees that were blown over by the storm. Some of them I've got about 3 really good saw logs put to the side up there, and then we ended up cutting a bunch of stuff into firewood rounds. Some of this was stuff off a part of the tree that was not, it was curved and janky and was not going to make a good saw log. Some of it was some stuff that had fell and had been laying for a while. Like this right here, I believe it's oak. The bark is gone off of it. I mean, it's just kind of junky looking on the outside. But man, that sucker is solid as a rock in the middle. So Jacob was over this morning and he helped me move. I still got some other stuff over here we need to split. Man, I'm getting behind. He helped me move all this down. So we have got a bunch of firewood here. We split half of a basket. So we finished filling this basket up. I got to take it out, or actually get it moved, go get me another one. I'll probably have to take the bladder out of it and start filling another one. We've got a little wood over here. Got more than I'm going to burn, and I'm trying to decide. I think I've got a couple ideas on what we're going to do with some of this. We'll just have to wait and see, but man, I've got a pretty good amount of firewood back here for the shop. I don't know how many cords is here. This one's covered up. The others, as you can see, are not. And I got 4 baskets back here. A lot of this is red oak. That may be poplar right there. This is oak over here. Yeah, that's oak right there. Still got some heft and some weight to it, but we're in pretty good shape on firewood, so got that going for us. Let's get this basket moved out of the way, go get us another one. Like I say, we'll probably have to take the bladder out of it, but let's get us something to put some more wood in. All right, there it is. Didn't get near as much done as I hoped I would get done today. I wanted to get this whole thing split and filled up, but that just did not happen. I had some guys come by that I'm trying to buy a load of logs off of. Neighbor called. Got a piece of equipment that I think we're going to borrow from him to do a little bit of work, and I think that'll be pretty interesting. Looking forward to showing that on a video. Nice piece of equipment that's going to help us do a little bit of work around here. Just borrowing it, not buying it, but we're going to get that and try that out one day. I'm glad to get the garlic planted. Big shout out to the folks at Land Guard for sending us a couple of those garden beds. I'm going to post a link in the description down below for them. Again, lots of good options. Raised beds are just easier to manage. They've got some really nice accessories to go with it, different colors, shapes, sizes on those beds, so you really can kind of mix and match and do what you want. But that garlic, glad to get that planted. Like I said, we do eat a lot of garlic. About everything Sandra fixes starts with sauteed onions and garlic in it, so we will definitely put that to good use. A couple things I want to address real quick. On the last video, I had made mention that we were going to be selling some of the timber off the property here, and somebody left a comment, why in the world would you do that? Why not just cut it yourself, mill it into lumber, and sell it that way? You'll get a whole lot more money for it. And they're absolutely correct. The problems with that are, number one, I don't have the expertise to go up on the side of this mountain over here and start cutting big pine and poplar and pulling them out. Don't have the expertise, don't have the equipment to do that. If I did, yeah, that would make all kinds of sense. And if I remember right, our forester estimated that we had about 600,000, I think I'm remembering this right, about 600,000 board feet of timber in here. I would never get that done. There's just no way I would ever get that cut, milled, and sold, because it takes, I got a camera turned off somewhere. It takes me, so I cut 2,000 board feet for the gentleman on that yellow pine. That took me about because I was doing it off and on, that took about 2 days to do. Multiply that by 300. 600 days, that would be 2 years of sawing every single day. And it would just, and then you got to sell it. So he's right, it would take, you know, it would generate a whole lot more income. I just don't have the time, the skill, or the resources, or the equipment to do all that. Plus, there's a lot, if you were to get out on our property and walk around and start looking, there's a lot of really, really big white pine and a lot of really, really big poplar, mixed hardwoods. Our forester told us if we don't do something with that sooner rather than later, it's going to start to degrade and will begin to lose its value. And so to keep the forest here healthy, we've decided to do that sale and be able to maximize and generate some revenue off of that timber. And timber, just like corn, soybeans, tomatoes, green beans, fill in the blank, is a crop. It just takes longer to grow it. And so our crop of timber now is ready to be harvested. And so the plan there is we're going to take all the pine, all the poplar, and then all the hardwoods that are over 16 inches chest high. So there will be some stuff left, but there will be a whole lot that will come down. That's going to generate, you know, when they go in and cut, there's a lot of tops and laps that are left, a lot of good firewood left in that. So that's going to generate a whole lot of firewood. So that was a big reason why we had bought the bigger splitter from Nathan over at Out of the Woods, so that we can hopefully turn that into an enterprise as well. So we had mentioned we were going to have a timber sale. Some questions came up about that, so I thought that was important to address that on what we're doing with that. It's getting late. I think time is scheduled to change in about 2 weeks. Then we're going to, you know, the whole time change thing, I wish they'd just leave it alone. I really do. I read on the internet, an Indian said that changing the time was like cutting an inch off the bottom of a blanket and sewing it to the top and thinking you had a bigger blanket. That makes a whole lot of sense. But I like light later into the evening. And here in a couple months, it will be dark at 5 o'clock. It would be dark by now. It's about, I think it's about 6:30 in the evening or something like that. So I wish time would just be left alone. Oh, and two other things real quick. Number one, had another individual reach out, say that they had been unsubscribed from the channel. Please check and make sure that you have stayed subscribed. Another comment, I have zero control over the ads that are placed on our videos. So if it's for a politician that you don't like, I have no control over that whatsoever. Whether it's Trump or Harris, I don't pick. What happens whenever those campaigns are trying to buy ad space, they bid on that and the highest bidder wins. So I have zero control over those ads. So please don't think that I am endorsing one candidate over the other. We don't talk about politics on this channel, and we probably never will. That's just a topic that we just are not gonna get into. So make sure you're subscribed. I have no control over the ads. I apologize if the candidate you're pulling for is showing ads on these videos. I don't have anything to do with it. So, good Lord, I'll be glad when that foolishness is over with. I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. Anyway, like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.